What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals right off the bat. Thank you, Movie Meal patrons. If you want to join that, it's linked down in the description. Please do. I know people have been asking, where's some other reviews? Almost all movie reviews will be on the channel. I mean, like 99.9%. We just were busy this last week, which is why we were gone on vacation. A couple friends of ours got married. Beautiful time. So we
A
just
lot of
didn't have
fun.
film, but we're here for Comic-Con stuff. We're here to also talk about Nope. That's what you're here for, is the Nope movie review. This is a non-spoiler review. We will not be spoiling this. Um, but guys, remember, comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, share these videos around. Would really appreciate it. But let's get into it here. So, non-spoiler, Kyle, what were your positives of the movie Nope, Jordan Peele's third installment to his original horror movie filmography? That's the word I'm looking for there. What do you think? What you think?
Nope. Nope. More like dope.
Man, man, I gotta tell you, you texted that to me, and it was a lot funnier in the text.
Yeah, I know.
It's true though. It is. It is more like dope.
Yeah, this movie is dope. What I really liked about this was that Jordan Peele still delivers on what he's really good at when it comes to his horror movies. It's the imagery, it's the ability within his writing to give great misdirects. He still is able to keep the audience on his toes and keep them engaged, no matter what the premise of his movie is. But what I really liked here is that this feels more um, like a traditional blockbuster in a way. Like it feels like it has the realms of the old movies of Shyamalan or Spielberg, to where it feels cinematic in that sense of like a traditional blockbuster movie rather than the aesthetic that we normally get from his other movies like Get Out and Us. But it still was a really great combination of the two. I felt like he still was able to deliver on the great horror elements I listed prior, but he also delivers on getting the comedy just right, so that way it undercuts it really well within the horror. But with the concept of it being using extraterrestrials, he still makes it to where it gives great misdirects for the audience. But at the same time, as a structural narrative, it doesn't feel similar to how it did with Get Out or Us. It feels more like a traditional movie structure that I think most audiences kind of recognize. So in a way, to me, it feels like it's his most audience friendly movie. Though Get Out is still like fantastic, and that could be the exception. But just in terms of how the movie is structured, he still is able to do what he does really well. But at the same time, it feels more audience friendly, at least in my opinion. And I just thought it was really great that he was able to switch it up. It didn't feel like a repeating pattern what he's done necessarily, like within how he structures his movies, but he still is able to repeat some of his of what we know of his style, and it still really hits very well. And on top of that too, the special effects, the sound design was also very very great in my opinion, and also
I
the
agree.
acting was really good, especially from Kiki Palmer and Dale Kaluuya. They are great opposites of each other, and they just were so entertaining in my opinion. Alex, what did you think?
I loved this movie. I've gotten into horror over the last handful of years. It was It Chapter One that kind of sparked my love to finally be like, okay, I got to watch these elite horror movies. And Get
Mm.
Out is one of the best horror movies I think I've ever seen. Its message is so powerful. It's no Get Out is funny. It's very scary at times. I love that movie. I liked Us. I've only seen it once because I remember leaving the theater being a little down on it. I want to rewatch it. I was going to try to do it before Nope. I didn't get a chance, but I remember liking it. I just didn't like love it. But Nope, I really, really loved. I had a blast in the theater watching this movie. I agree with you. One, Kiki Palmer, where have you been? I mean, I know she's been doing a lot of voice work. She's been on some TV shows and doing other things, but man, have I
She's coming
missed
back
seeing her.
strong.
She was awesome in this movie. And obviously Daniel Kaluuya is amazing. He an Oscar winner. He's been taking on just these incredible roles over the last few years. And I know Jordan Peele talked about that, what horror movies need sometimes even more than other movies is really, really good actors, because they're trying to sell stuff that sometimes you just like you couldn't even believe.
Yeah.
It's sometimes, it's trying to convince Harrison Ford in the original Star Wars to be friends with this walking carpet. You know what I mean? It's that kind of
Sure.
that level of imagination, and this movie really hits. I think that in all of Jordan Peele's original horror movies. Again, they showed the first teaser for Oppenheimer before this movie from Christopher Nolan, and then when the movie was starting, I was just kind of like, all right, we saw the trailer for Oppenheimer, and now we're in Nope, two original big budget movies, and people complain they don't make those anymore, but they're right here and they're good. So let's
Mhm.
go see them, because Nope was awesome. He in all of his movies has a message. Get Out has a certain message. Us has a certain message. This also has a message. It just wasn't the message I was kind of expecting from him, and I really, really liked that. He kept me guessing the whole movie. I thought from what I saw in the trailers, I was like, okay, I kind of got an idea. I had no idea what we were going to get. Like, you kind of get the trailers really are a bit of a misdirect at times, and I'm
It's impressive
really,
looking
really
back on
for
it.
that. I'm
Yeah.
really for that, because it was awesome. I mean, it was a unique way of doing it and poking fun. And I think, like, the Marvel crazies who are like, they've CGI'd everybody out of the trailer, there's actually going to be 500 X-Men in the background. It's like, okay, calm down. There's nobody in the background. And he did a really good job of misdirection here. I thought the idea, without giving anything away, I thought the ideas of this movie were as creative in a story, in a horror suspense story, that I haven't seen since Arrival, because I think Arrival really did a great job at playing on the same kind of themes,
Mhm.
of us being like, oh, Arrival's an alien invasion, and it's like, oh wow, Arrival is so much more. This is not where I thought we were going. And I think Nope, excuse me, did that just as well, if not maybe better. I adored the movie, the themes of the movie. I loved it all. Kyle, what were your negatives?
I think that there is a side character that's involved in the movie that I could see many people thinking as a negative. Uh, I
Was he
did
for
like
you?
I did like this side character and I liked its story, although I have a feeling that there was a lot more to that character's story that was left on the cutting room table. And I almost wonder if a lot more of it should have been cut out just for the sake of runtime and maybe for the importance of the movie overall. Although it does kind of tie into some aspects of the movie from what I'm thinking about so far, and maybe as I think more about that side character, like I will get more out of it. But just for right now, I'm not too certain. I'm not too certain if it's really a necessary thing for the movie. But I think it's also going to be an interesting talking point as well. Like looking
So
back on this movie.
so you're just saying side character because you think saying the actor will give the something away?
Um,
Because I
maybe,
don't think it
yeah.
would. I don't think it would.
You think so? I mean,
You're just
it's
talking. I'm gonna be honest. You're just talking about Steven Yen and his
yeah,
kind of direction in the film.
yeah.
I love it. I
Okay,
loved what they do with
nice.
Steven Yen, and we definitely got to talk off camera about it, because we were walking back from the theater, and I was talking because we walked there, beautiful night,
Hmm.
and I went with a buddy of ours, and we were kind of walking back. We were talking or whatever, and I was kind of like, what was the message, everything like this, like I'm trying to figure it out, and he goes boom, and he connected it all to me, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Right on.
But
Yeah, talk to
I
me after. But that's what I'm saying though. Like it could be a really good talking point for this movie. There could be more to it that I'm not necessarily realizing it. And not that I didn't like that stuff, but I'm just thinking that since they
Sure.
probably cut a whole lot of it from my guess after seeing the movie, it probably wouldn't have hurt it too much if it cut the whole thing. But I could totally be
Give us the
wrong
peel
after our
cut.
conversation. But
Give us the peel
anyway.
cut. Give us the peel cut. I'm gonna make bots. I'm gonna put up bots. Give me the peel cut. Even though Jordan Peele produced the movie himself, so it is his version of the movie.
Right, right.
um, for my nitpicks, I thought there were a couple editing choices that myself didn't really work, especially at the very beginning. I was just kind of like, is this a trailer? Oh no, we've started the movie. I was a little
Hmm.
confused at first, but looking
Oh,
back, it's a very, very small nitpick. There was one or two scenes that I thought were a little bit more like, this needs to happen so we can push forward with a bigger, crazier plot. But they, again, extremely small nitpicks. I went into this
yeah,
movie very intrigued, because it was uh, the lowest rated of his three movies, which still was a very high rating and a great rating. But I saw
yeah.
some critics being like, "Man, I didn't love some of it." And then I saw some critics saying an instant classic. They loved it so much. So I was very intrigued going into this where I would lie. And I don't know if it's an instant classic, but I really, really loved this movie. I love that Jordan Peele has been offered big budgeted movies to do, like probably Marvel or DC or something. And he says, no, I'm going to make my original stories. I think I remember at Get
Good.
Out, he said that he had written, I thought he had said he had written, or maybe he had like, maybe they were just ideas, but I thought he said he had like 7 or 8 original horror ideas. And the second I heard that, I was like, please make them all right now. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
I'm totally fine with that.
I adored this movie. This movie is awesome. It's not super scary in traditional like if something like It or Insidious or The Conjuring is
Not
too
jump
much for
scare
you.
scary.
I think you'd be fine. There's 1 or 2 jump scare moments in this, but they're done very well. It's a lot more suspense. And
Tone
man,
setting. Yeah.
yeah, it really is. But I think this movie is amazing. I curious to see how the box office is. But anything else?
No, Jordan Peele still continues to impress. I hope a lot of people give this movie a chance. Go out and see it. Please support it. Because if everyone wants more original blockbusters, all right, here you go. There's one out there.
I
Go ahead and see it.
Oh my gosh, what's going on here?
We good?
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Did you have a
Uh,
stroke?
my yeah, I'll tell you off camera. My guys, what do you think of Nope? Comment below, let us know. I'm gonna like, subscribe, share. Thank you, Moo Meal patrons. Go join that, guys. Again, go check out the podcast on Mondays. We'll be talking everything Comic Con. Uh, yeah, and as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.